Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So we're going to be doing in this video the last verse of chapter 7, verse 30. Um, I'm just going to talk a little bit before. If you want to skip straight to the verse, you know the drill. You can go to where you start seeing the screen instead of just my face. Okay, so I was hearing a lecture by someone who was saying today that in order to be loyal, we should only listen to people who are, Prabhupada or Prabhupada disciples, and we shouldn't listen to other people. And kind of got me thinking because I have been doing Swami Mukundanand's videos as well, and he is a Gaudiya Vaishnav, and I've been listening to Swami Sar Priyanand, who is an impersonalist. So I've been listening to all of these other videos, audios, and I am getting information from all of them. I think Swami Sar Priyanand has very clear thinking that helps me a lot to understand each verse, and Swami Mukundanand also brings a lot of clarity. And Prabhupada, yes, I mean, perhaps he is at the place where he's at the top of the mountain, and he's higher than what Swami Sar Priyanand can see, or maybe even Swami Upananand, even though he's also Gaudiya Vaishnavism and Gaudiya Vaishnav. And yeah, so maybe he is higher there. And but in order to understand Prabhupada, like even the non-controversial parts, I mean, is it's difficult, because if he's translating Buddhi Yoga as path of devotion, and Karma Yoga as devotion service, and all of that, like based on that video that I had posted in, I think, 728 maybe, or something like that, which was a podcast between Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and Garud Prabhu. So he had talked about Prabhupada, and that had helped me actually understand that potentially the reason I'm not understanding what Prabhupada is saying is because he is at a much higher level. It's not because it's not necessarily because he doesn't know what he's talking about. It could be that. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I am not convinced that we should not be listening to other people. I think there is another person in ISKCON called Gaur Gopal Prabhu, who is also very famous, and he listens to all kinds of things. I think he reads. So there are different people with different schools of thoughts even within ISKCON, obviously. I mean, everybody is different, and some people believe in just focusing on this one path, and some people believe in expanding our minds and like knowledge and from all over the place, and trying to figure out. So at some point perhaps I will go to this path of Prabhupada, I mean, where I'll be like, okay, this feels absolutely true. But in order to get there, if I get there, or if wherever I land up, I have to go through all these other paths. And that's how I've lived my life. Like, I went through this. I didn't believe in God. I went down this atheistic path for decades, and I was very proud of it. And I'm still proud of the fact that I went through it, and then I came out of it, and I came here. I feel proud because God pulled me. He pulled me like he just pulled me to him consistently, like step by step. I've identified my life story so that I've realized that God has pulled me to him, which is great because it brings the faith in me to be very strong. And somebody else might not have that. They might have some other part of something that they're very strong, and this part might not be as strong for them. And for me, my faith in Krishna is strong, even though my faith in the Shastras isn't strong. Some people might have a very strong faith in the Shastras, and they might have very strong faith in Prabhupada. They might have strong faith in someone else, and all of that. And my faith is in Krishna only right now. Like, it's not in the... Anyways, but what I'm trying to say is that I've been studying the Gita very intensely lately, and I'm starting to feel this sense of glimpses of depth that I didn't know existed before. And that's happening from partly because I'm studying with someone who's it's only for a few more weeks, and that person is leaving, so it's sad. But yeah, partly because of that, partly because I'm listening to so many lectures by so many different people that I'm getting depth. I'm getting like really deep into like chapter 3, which is what I've been focused on my thing. So I can't wait to get to a place in chapter 3 where I feel like I really understand a lot in depth from chapter 3. And I'll do an overall overview of chapter 3 for you guys once I feel like I have this really deep understanding of it. But getting to that deep understanding of chapter 3 is helping me with other chapters as well, because it's not feeling as overwhelming, so it's feeling really good. That exercise, that process is intensely helping me, so I'm loving this journey that I'm on. So what I'm trying to say is that whatever it is, just keep going, and keep working towards it, and keep listening to the whispers in your mind and your heart, about what you should be doing. Like if you're feeling dissatisfied about something, like this is not feeling good enough for me, this is not feeling right, this is what I want to do, follow it. Because those whispers, those intuitive whispers, are whispers from Krishna many times. And Krishna is guiding us through our intuition. Krishna is guiding us through our dissatisfaction with things. It's like, no, this is not feeling good to me. I was not feeling good about this Gita. I was like, I need to go deeper, I need to go deeper, and I found a way. I mean, he sent me a way, about how to do it. He sent me this idea that I'm going to do chapter 3 every day. I'm going to read all the verses of chapter 3 based on my own translation, which is English plus Sanskrit based, so that like I'm writing Buddhi Yoga instead of devotional service. Buddhi means intellect, so I'm writing Buddhi Yoga, and I'm writing Siddhi instead of perfection, and I'm writing the Sanskrit words and those things, so that I feel like I'm close to what Krishna is saying, and I'm memorizing them, and I'm learning them, and I'm connecting them and listening to lectures. It's great. It's great. It's making me feel good. Okay. So the glimpses are amazing, and my belief is that it's good to listen to all kinds of different things before we make up our minds about this one thing that we want to do. Okay, let's sing the verse together. साधिभूताधिदैवं मां साधियज्ञं च ये विदुः प्रयाणकालेऽपि च मां ते विदुर्युक्तचेतसः. Okay, so what he's saying here, those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. Okay, so those who in full consciousness know me, and then there are 3 parts here. The governing principle of the material manifestation, 1. 2. Demigods. 3. All methods of sacrifice. If those who know me to be the principal person in manifestation, demigods, and sacrifice can understand and know me even at the time of death. So this is the thing that everyone says, that if at the time of death you remember God, then you will go back to Golok Vrindavan. You'll go back to God's abode. You'll be free from liberation. You'll be liberated. You'll be free from the cycle of birth and death. You'll be liberated. You'll be free. So Swami Mukundanand, the translation here is, I like it because he's using the Sanskrit words, which I really like. Those who know me as the governing principle of Adhibhuta, field of matter, Adhivaiva, that's the demigods, the celestial gods, and Adhiyagya, lord of all sacrificial performances, such enlightened souls are in full consciousness of me even at the time of death. And then he says here that in the next chapter he's going to explain these words in more detail. So let's do word by word. Sa Adhibhut, governing principle of the material manifestation. Adhivaivam, governing of all demigods. Me, know me, and Adhiyagya, governing of all sacrifices. Those who know me as all these 3. Those who know Ye Viduhu, Prayana of death at the time, Kala, at the time, Kale, Api, even Mam, me, so those who know at the time, even at the time of death, me, they know their okay, I think the other way around. Yukta Chetasha, their mind is engaged, Chetasa, their mind is engaged in me. When their mind is engaged in me, they know me even at the time of death. That's the thing. So yeah, here he's saying that you should be associated with people of Krishna consciousness, then you will get to know Krishna. And you will never forget. And okay, so here he says that death is a very painful surgery comparable to 2000 scorpions biting at the same time. Such extreme pain is beyond the tolerance of a normal human being, and the person loses consciousness, and intellect and mind will stop working long before you cannot remember anything. So how are you going to remember God? So, but those enlightened souls who have attained to knowledge are ever filled with devotion to God, and mind and intellect and all of them are surrendered to Him. I can't even imagine, I don't understand even what that means. but their soul is disconnected from the lamentation and hankering at the material level. So it's just they've gone. They've already left the earth long before they've died. So even not at the time of death, then this whole concept of, I don't even know what that means. Like there's a slight pain for me, and I'm just like I'm freaking out because I'm feeling so much pain. I don't understand this, but maybe in some lifetime, sometime I'll understand something. I think this is where chanting comes in. I think the more we chant, the more we clear those 30 miles of coverings that we have, and the more we clear those 30 miles of covering that we have, the more we clear out the pain, or the fear of the pain, which is what I have in big amounts, fear of the pain. Okay, so that's it for this video. We'll do chapter 8, I think, verse 1 in the next video. Wish you a day filled with spiritual growth. Radhe Radhe.